Smitty, I'm hearing there's a dead zone at running back in 2024. Is this true?
I am the judge, jury, and executioner here on all topics in fantasy football, and I'm going to determine whether this accusation, maybe reckless, is true or false. Oh, and don't go anywhere at the end of it, because the best content is at the tail end of it when I talk about stuff like this, when I go over my favorite picks in every single round, take a quick preview before the intro, and then let's get to the dead zone convo. I'm going to say Bijan in round one. If I've got to pick one, my favorite guy is Kyren Williams. I think he wins leagues in round number 2. I think if you walk away with that robust RB that we like here on the channel, we like it.
Yeah, buddy.
We tell you. The Fantasy Football Show. This episode of Fantasy Football Court begins right now.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com studios, it's the Fantasy Football Show.
All right, so we don't need to go over round one. Bijan in round one, Gibby in round one, although he does fall to the 12-13 turn. So let's set him right here because we're going to have a conversation about Jameer. We obviously don't need to go over the round one running backs. There are tons of them in round one. Obvious stuff out of the way. Now, Gibbs will fall to the 2-3 turn. So I'm going to put him in round two just as a talking point. But you've got Barkley in round number 2. You got Saquon Barkley in round number 2. You've got Kyren in round number 2. We've got Kyren Williams in round number 2. We have Devon Achane in round number 2. Now, one of Achane or Kyren typically falls to round number 3. If we're talking best ball, Kyren Williams lives in round 3. He doesn't sometimes fall in round 3. And this is hard to hear for people that don't play best ball. And they're like, wait, what? Kyren Williams, he's a first-round pick in my grandma league, in my home league at the nursing home where we draft and take advantage of all the little old ladies. I'm drafting Kyren Williams in the first round there. I understand, okay? But what I'm trying to tell you is in best ball, he's going at 3.4, 3.5, not 3.1, not 2.10 to 3.5. He's going 3.4. So in best ball, there's absolutely no dead zone in round 3 because of Kyren living in round 3. But I want to make it known that he is probably going to be in round 2. He should be in round 2. And I'm not taking chances in buddy leagues or grandma leagues or whatever. Even best ball, I find it hard to take a risk of letting Kyren, unless I've got the 3.1, 3.2, maybe 3.3. I might take Achane in 2 and then try and push my luck. But you've got no dead zone in round 2.
Clearly, right?
Can I move on? Now, best ball, non-best ball, we're going to have some lack of overlap is probably the best way to describe it, because in non-best ball, Achane, who goes clearly in round 2 in best ball, now goes at 3.1, 3.2, 3.3 in non-best ball. And Kyren in non-best ball is cemented into round 2, unlike in best ball where he's in 3. I have to attack best ball and non-best ball because the discrepancy between rounds 1, 2, 3, and really even 4 and kind of 5 are so crazy. I can't leave it alone without attacking it this way. JT is also in round number 2, so we'll put JT in round number 2. I mean, there's just so many RBs so far. There's the threat of a dead zone or even a cold zone is ridiculous at this point. Henry, he goes in round 3 in best ball sometimes, and non-best ball he goes in 2. Sometimes vice versa, just kind of all over the place. So I'll put him in 3, but he lives in 3 and 2. Kind of at the same time. ETN is going in round number 4, so we'll put ETN right here. Jacobs kind of lives in round 4, 5. Maybe we look at the ADP real quick and just see where Jacobs is. Actually, I have an ADP side-by-side board for you all. All right, let's take a look at this ADP board and find the discrepancy between these two different rankings lists. So we're going to get to Pacheco in a second. So while we're here, Pacheco's going at number 43 in best ball, and Pacheco in non-best ball is going to go a lot higher, 24. So he's in round 2. That's the crazy part about this wide receiver, this reckless wide receiver saturation in best ball that is not healthy or normal. And I draft against it. I draft against the traffic. I don't follow the lambs to the slaughter in this wide receiver saturation business that we got now in best ball. I am the pioneer this year of the running back in best ball. Not every time, because best player available is how I live my life. It's how you should live your life as well. Let's go, mashed potatoes! But in that, best player available 8 times out of 10 because of the saturation, the reckless saturation of wide receivers in rounds 1, 2, 3, and sometimes 4 in best ball. Best player available 8 times out of 10, 7 times out of 10 takes us down a road where running back is the best player available at round 1, round 2. Where were we on this? We're talking about not ETN, Jacobs, Josh Jacobs. Where's he at? Josh Jacobs is going, where's Jacobs at? Jacobs at 53 overall on this one. We said Pacheco was 43. Okay, 43 and 24. We got to remember that for when we talk about Pacheco. Here, Jacobs is 53. And over here, Jacobs is 34. Wow. Okay, so 3rd round in non-best ball. Wow. And 53 in best ball. 5th round and 3rd round. It's wildly different. I mean, it makes content creation. It makes content creation challenging. You know, I mean, non-best ball, he's here. So clearly even more of a case for no 3rd round or 4th round dead zone. No, 3rd round. 3rd round dead zone, right? Because you're throwing Jacobs in here. But he's right here in best ball. So kind of hard to have the conversation without picking, you know, leaving these guys and picking one area to go in. Let's call this non-best ball right now. At the end, we'll kind of jostle everybody around a little bit. But we said Pacheco was going in non-best ball in round 2, 3, right? So we'll put Pacheco right here. But keep in mind, he's going at 43. He's going at 43 in best ball, which would put him right at the middle of round 4. So we'll put Pacheco here in best ball. See how full the first 4 rounds are? You know, and again, in best ball, you put Jacobs here. It's still absolutely, you know, beautiful. And, you know, things that move around a little bit between best ball and non-best ball here, we're like Achane here, Kyron there. So it's a plentiful world for RB in rounds 1 through 4 so far. We're finding no dead zone whatsoever. Pacheco again here, ETN here. I'm not even done. 4th round. So best ball, 4th round running backs, ETN, Pacheco, Jacobs. Some would say James Cook. I'm not a huge James Cook fan there. But 4th round, I'd say 4th round in best balls where it can get dry. I wouldn't say it's a dead zone. I'd just say, you know, looking at a bunch of drafts in a row here, even on my phone, in the 4th round, you have Pacheco, you have ETN, you have maybe Josh Jacobs, and then that's where it gets a little thin. Kamara's like entering the conversation of one of the next best running backs to grab, and you don't want to take him this high. So round 4 gets a little dry, but that's still 3 good running backs. That's 3 players out of 12. It's not like it's dead. So no dead zone. Dryish? Sure. And in non-best ball, again, he goes in this 2-3 turn. Pacheco. Jacobs goes in non-best ball into round 3-4. And so non-best ball, very much no dead zone. Pacheco gets taken out of this territory, but we get, you know, Jacobs to be inserted into it. So kind of a give and a take there. And I think Kamara probably enters the situation in the 4th round in non-best ball. So he kind of replaces potentially that Pacheco vacancy as well as Jacobs does. But in best ball, you throw Jacobs over here and we throw Kamara in the 5th round territory. So in best ball, we're looking at this right here, you know, and again, swap Achane and Kyron. So very plentiful rounds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not worried at all in best ball. And then as like I said, we get into the non-best ball. Let's close it out with non-best ball because, you know, we attack best ball a lot, but it's time to get ready for some non-best ball content. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to continue to attack both, but I want to make sure we're damn prepared. So we're going to go something like this, right? So in non-best ball, who's there around 5? Who are we looking at in round 5 that feels pretty solid? Round 5, you're going to have James Cook. You're going to have potentially a Rachaad White. You're going to have a Kenneth Walker, a Joe Mixon, a potential Jacobs could fall there or not, Montgomery. And this kind of goes for round 5 and round 6. And then you get into Zamir White. This is where the dead zone, there's no way we have a dead zone in rounds like end of 5, 6, 7, 8, because you have Jacobs, Benson, Connor, Zamir White, Ramondre Stevenson, Najee Harris, Jalen Warren, Chase Brown, Zach Moss, DeAndre Swift. Not all guys I like I'm not drafting Swift, but you have no dead zone whatsoever in round 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's no dead zone. There's no dead zone this year at all. The only place it kind of dries up is a little bit in round 5, maybe end of round 4 in non-best ball, because you have this cramming of these guys up higher, and then you're left with reaching a little bit on James Cook, Mixon, Kenneth Walker, Rashad White, but that's not dead. So round 5 is not dead. It's almost like you're reaching a little bit, a reaching zone. Non-best ball, even more so than best ball, there's no dead zone at all. The only place we found, and everything I said applies with Connor and Benson and Jalen Warren and Najee and Zamir White and Stevenson and Chase Brown and Zach Moss, et cetera, Jonathan Brooks, all in the 6, 7, 8 territory. And then you move Kamara to 5. You move Jacobs maybe to 5. You move Pacheco down to 4. And we're talking best ball now. The only place it even gets remotely dry is this 4th round, and that's it. I don't want to hear anybody say, there's a dead zone, there's a Smitty.
There's a dead zone in best ball and redraft this year, or a dead zone anywhere at the RB position.
There is not. I totally debunked it.
You've just been Smitty disapproved.
Completely debunked. My ruling is completely debunked. Case closed. Okay, to wrap up the show, probably in the most important way, this is the most important content, as I'd say, let's rank my favorite picks in each one of these rounds. I'm going to say Bijan in round 1 if I've got to pick one. I love Gibbs. I love Breece Hall. I think, or you could go Bijan, Hall, Gibbs in order if you want, but if I had to pick one, that one person would be Bijan, just because I think he has the best chance of being the number 1 running back in fantasy football 2024. If we're talking about round 2, this is where I kind of want to borrow Gibbs and say he's still in this conversation here. But you got JT, you've got guys like that. Yeah, sure. Okay. My favorite guy is Kyron Williams. I think he wins leagues in round number 2. I think if you walk away with that robust RB that we like here on the channel, we like it.
Yeah, buddy.
We told you. And if you want to dominate the robust RB, you walk away with Bijan and Kyron and you win leagues. Achane, obviously, if he goes in round 3, he's my favorite pick. He's one of my favorite picks in round 2 as well. So I'm going to kind of borrow him, because in non-best ball, he can go in 3 at 3.1, 3.2. So I'm going to make Achane my favorite pick in round number 3 just because I can. Pacheco in round number 3, 4 in best ball. And non-best ball, unfortunately, he goes in 2, 3. So he can't cut the list in non-best ball. So round number 4, I guess we'd say this is the one place where it gets dry in non-best ball. Again, in best ball, it's not dry. In best ball, my favorite pick is Pacheco. No doubt about it. He's there in 4. We're attacking it in 4.
Yeah, buddy.
Doing it live. Non-best ball, he's going in 2, 3. So I'd say a non-best ball, this is probably that dry zone. This is probably the place Jacobs goes in 3, 4. I'm probably going a different position than RB in round 4 in non-best ball. Almost 99.9% of the time, this is where I'm getting that last final top 3 quarterback. This is where I'm getting a McBride a little early, or potentially if I'm going Mahomes, Kelsey or something like that, I could take Kelsey there. I'm taking a running back probably in round 4, and I'm so amped up about RB in rounds 1 and 2. I usually am using this round for a Tank Dell, Devontae Smith, the DK Metcalf, whatever I can get away with, whoever falls in round 4. Tank Dell's glorious in round number 4. We're winning leagues with it. We're doing it live. Mashed potatoes.
Yeah, buddy.
Favorite running back in round 5, 6. I mean, this is tough. I'd say, look, I'm really starting to like Kamara. With Kendre Miller being on maybe even the roster bubble now, this is the pick. Round 5, 6, depending on if it's best ball. Round 6, if it's non-best ball, 5. That becomes my favorite pick, I think, right there. I'm going to say my favorite 6, 7 territory type of pick is going to be this combination of James Conner and Benson, because I think it wins mother freaking damn leagues. And I want this duo. You know, if you got to take one a little earlier and the other one here, then so be it. But just be cognizant of where their ADPs are in conjunction with what draft you're in, what style of draft, non-best ball, best ball, PPR, non-PPR, grandmas, non-grandmas, and I'm smashing the hell out of this. I think Zamir White deserves a conversation right here. In 7-8, we're talking about Stevenson, Kamara, and non-best ball, but I think Najee and Warren start looking real attractive here. I love some Zamir White, like I said, in 6-7, but this kind of feels like where I'm at right now. Appreciate every single one of you. Now get out of here. Don't forget, I'm live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday. Additionally, live whenever news breaks, and we go live most midnights to draft on Underdog, Code Smitty. And yeah, you know, you want to draft with us, join us at midnight. And don't forget to check out thefantasyfootballshow.com. And if you want a live chat environment, 365, 24/7, don't forget to check out patreon.com/thefantasyfootballshow. Link in description. Get out of here.